And here we have today's exquisite ingredient. I know it doesn't have the best look right now, but this is a wagyu brisket. It's pretty much as good as it gets. But like every brisket, the first thing we need to do is to trim it properly. If you don't, you're actually hurting yourself. As I start to trim them up, you can really tell how marble this thing really is. This is a very nice brisket, and my hopes is to make it even better. Because now that we got fully trimmed, here's today's special ingredient, Worcestershire sauce. A lot of people have trouble pronouncing it, but the easiest way to remember is to call it wash your sister's sauce. Oh yes. But nevertheless, this sauce is quite popular. It has several different ingredients that makes it great. Now this sauce has many applications for it. One of them is to marinate meats. We're gonna take that to a whole nother level because I need a lot of it, gallons. So the first thing to do was to get it ready. I went ahead and placed a generous amount into my container. Then I got the brisket, set it down right in there, and completely covered the whole thing with Worcestershire sauce. This is a very crucial step. I need to make sure that the whole thing is covered with it. So I had to use over 5 gallons. As once it was done, you can clearly see that the whole thing is floating. To push it down, I just used some rice, which was vacuum packed. I'll be soaking this brisket for a month, flipping it upside down every other day. Now the only thing left to do is to wait. Once the time was up, I removed it from the dry ager, took the lid off, followed by the weighted rice, and the brisket became something else. Oh boy. You can clearly see that the Worcestershire sauce did its job. It penetrated deeply in there. Now if you are like me, you love Worcestershire smell. This smells wonderful, slightly vinegary, combined with a hint of sweetness. Yeah, that was unexpected. It almost reminds me of the smell of honey. And if you take a closer look, it even seems like it was aged in honey. So right at this stage, I was super excited. But I cannot cook it right away. If I do, I will not have a bark. So I decided to go even further. And that was to set it down on a cutting board, season with a generous amount of coarse salt, followed by black pepper. I made sure to cover every edge. That's what you must do whenever you're seasoning a big piece of meat like this. Because now that was fully seasoned, into my dry ager it goes for another week. Once the time was up, take a look. You can clearly see that there's no longer any salt. That's because it penetrated deeply in there. And most importantly, all of the Worcestershire moisture is also completely gone. This lets me know that it will build a beautiful crust when we're cooking it. Talking about that, outside I went to my offset smoker. I kept the temperature at 225 degrees Fahrenheit, laid the whole thing down in there, and started to smoke it. Now this is gonna take at least 8 hours. And as that was happening, it was perfect because it allowed me time to go ahead and make an awesome side dish. Now if you've never seen this, they might look kind of weird, but believe me when I tell you, these are phenomenal. I like to call them armadillo eggs. And the best part is that if you love smoked meats, it's something you must try. And to make it, it's super simple. You first want to get some jalapenos. Remove all of the seeds and the core inside, and that's it. Now to fill them. So into a bowl I threw in some cheddar cheese, followed by cream cheese, and mix that all together. Now you want to grab a generous amount and fill the whole thing up. As now you want to get a hold of some bacon. Wrap the entire jalapeno with it. Make sure to be generous, as once that's ready, you take it to a whole nother level by doing the same exact thing with ground beef. Doing a hockey puck like this is the easiest way I know how. Now lay the jalapeno down, wrap the whole thing, and make sure to make several. To season the ground beef, you want to use a barbecue rub. Since there's no salt or seasoning previously, make sure you're generous with it. Once everything is done, you want to take them outside and smoke them. I'm using a drum smoker for this. It gives an incredible smoky flavor. However, usually whenever you cook on a drum smoker, they become much darker. So just remember that. Now you want to close up the lid and smoke everything until it's fully cooked. Right towards the end, open up the smoker and add some barbecue sauce right on top. Brush the whole thing to make sure it's fully coated and let it smoke again so the barbecue sauce will set. And as that was going, I made a quick simple dipping sauce. Into a food processor I threw in some mayo, followed by sriracha, garlic, thyme, and cilantro. Close the whole thing up and combine everything together. As when you're done, you are left with this, a nice dipping sauce to go along with it. Because by this time, my side dish was fully cooked. So I went ahead and plate them up. I added a tiny bit of parsley to be healthy, and this is today's side dish. I'll be honest with you, if you love meat, you're gonna really enjoy this one. It is absolutely delicious. Talking about that, by this time, my brisket was almost ready. And the first thing you want is to make sure that it got a nice color. And as you can clearly clearly see, it did. So I went inside, got some parchment paper, laid down a generous amount of wagyu tallow, spread that all over the parchment paper, set the brisket right on top, and closed the whole thing nice and tight. Now back into the smoker it goes until it's fully tender, which usually is about 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Then after letting it rest for quite some time, my brisket was ready. I went ahead and opened up the whole thing, and the smell that is coming out of this thing is intoxicating. And as soon as I took my first slice, oh wow, it is extremely tender. And let me remind you that this is the lean part. We still gotta go for the fatty. This one looks great, but the thing that is getting me the most is the smell, as we cannot forget what this brisket went through, because now it's the most important part, and that is, what does it taste like? Well, we're about to find out right now, because I say it is enough talking and it is time to eat, so let's do it. All right, everybody, and here we got our beautiful feast. Gentlemen, what do you guys think, huh?
What is this, Guga? Are these like Rocky Mountain oysters or something?
Yes, exactly. Wait until you take a bite of them. You're gonna enjoy them so much, you're gonna ask yourself why you never had them before.
I was hoping it wasn't seafood. What is that
Rocky
then?
Mountain oysters is not seafood.
Well, what is it? It's not oysters?
It's the balls of the bull, bro.
Oh, I definitely don't like that either.
That's not what this video is about. But however, you guys are starting like that, then we're gonna have to give this one a go, because this is an extremely special brisket. I've done something weird, delicious, and very aromatic at the same time. So I'm really excited for you guys to try it.
Is there no control today?
No control, because this is expensive.
Oh.
This is a wagyu brisket, okay?
Oh.
But first, come over here, Leo. Let me give you some Rocky Mountain oysters, yeah? Cut that oyster in half and check out the mirror and tell me. So as you can clearly see, we got a delicious armadillo egg. So make sure you take a nice big bite, all right? We have a lot of things going right here. Jalapeno, cheese, and obviously ground beef and bacon. Enough talk, let's give it a try. Cheers.
Cheers.
If you love barbecue, this is it, everybody. This is what you're gonna love. What do you think?
Might be one of my favorite side dishes this year, Guga. The sweetness of the barbecue sauce comes through. You have that nice thick layer of ground beef, the bacon, the cheesy filled jalapeno. All the flavors come through very nicely.
What I like the most about these is it's very texture heavy. Like there's a lot of textures going on in here. When you go to bite it, it has like a snap too. So it has like a fun texture experience.
Well, I have a sauce to try with the sauce because it gives you a completely different experience.
That sauce is very interesting. I thought it would be like a chipotle garlic aioli kind of vibe, but not really. You do get a little bit of garlic, but there's something in there that's very unique. I've never tried in a sauce like that.
That is amazing. Highly recommend. If you love to barbecue, you will enjoy it. But today's video is all about this brisket. We got the lean and we got the fatty. Which one would you like?
I'm gonna go with the fatty side.
Fatty, 100%. Fatty is always going to be better.
I'm on a diet, but the fatty is always better, so let me go for this.
I don't think you can be on a diet with barbecue. Well, give me your honest opinion on this one. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Whoa.
I am extremely pleasantly surprised.
Interesting flavor, but you know what? I freaking love it.
Wow, it caught me by surprise. I enjoy it quite a bit, and I'll explain to you why. But first, what do you think?
This one's interesting. Like it has some funky flavors going on that's like not funky like dry age, but funky like it's strange. It's definitely different.
Wow, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's uber smoky, but there's like a hint of sweetness there. It's not a lot, it's very mild, but it actually, you can still feel it through the richness and smoke of this brisket. It's weird, but good.
So for me, this brisket is a wagyu brisket and it is extremely fatty. So what happened is the acidity of the special ingredient brought down that fattiness for me, making a perfect balance when I take a bite. It's not too fat. This is the fatty,
Yeah.
so it is extremely tender and juicy, but you don't feel that richness of fat, you know, because normally it's a little bit too overpowering.
That's true.
So by the way, I just soaked this one in Worcestershire sauce.
Really?
Your favorite thing to eat.
That is a lot of Worcestershire if you soak the brisket in it.
You don't want to know how much. Well, I enjoy it quite a bit, everybody. It does bring a little bit of that flavor. You will definitely feel it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Now that you say that it's Worcestershire, I could kind of see it.
Now you like it more because
Now
I
it's
said
like-
it.
I could kind of see why it's like that.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. I like it. I like it a lot.